Biodynamic Gardening Report. Like the Surf Report, but for gardening by the moon. Hey, everybody. We're here at the Biodynamic Gardening Report. We're down here in Avila Beach. I'm with my friend Ralph Johnson. How are you, Ralph?
Doing good today.
Oh, good. We're also here. Thanks so very much for meeting us, Mike Sinor of Sinor La Valley.
No worries. Thank you guys for being here.
Great. We're here. This is my first time at your new tasting room.
Welcome.
Down here on 1st Street in Avila.
It is here in town.
We'll talk later about the Biodynamic Gardening Report and what's coming. Do you listen to our podcast?
I have. Oh, yes.
And tell us what you think about it.
It's been great. I love the details of what you guys have gotten into, and I think the correlation between what's happening and the inputs I think is great. I love the way you guys are communicating about it. I think is really direct and kind of experience-based, which is, I think, important when it comes to biodynamics, that it's really about what's happening and not what could happen or should happen. It's, hey, this is how it's going. I've been into it for a while. In 1996, I took my first trip to France, and I met a guy named Pierre Moret at Domaine La Fleuve, and they were just kind of getting into it. I thought it was just absolutely craziness that he talked about. I thought, this is impossible. How can you have one farming methodology to do it the same way around the world? Because my goal is really about speaking wine of a place through wine. And, the word terroir is what I personally am about. So this guy's telling me you farm the same way in the Rheingau, in Cotonou, and in Edna Valley. And I said, well, that's ridiculous. How can you can't farm the same way in those climates? And but I was just listening for the first time. I hadn't gone into it yet. We interviewed several consultants around California, and some we couldn't afford, and some were dogmatic, and just I call them Steinerites, and I don't appreciate that. My style is to make wine taste good. That's what brought me to biodynamics, just to make wine taste good. Someday I would like to get certified, but it's not my current, 5-year goal right now.
So you're not using the other 6 preps?
I use all the preps.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
yeah.
You
I use all the preps. Oh, yeah. I use all.
And who do you get those from? From BDank? Through BDank?
JPI. Out of Virginia.
JPI,
yeah. Hugh Courtney. He's no longer working.
Josephine Porter
Institute. JPI, in Virginia. I've been working with them since Domaine Alfred, so that's 2001. And, so I get most of my preps. I do my 500. And with our new ranch, we are starting to expand the program. The overriding aspect for me is always the closed loop system, is try to figure it out yourself on site. And that's just good business,
Could you explain that a little bit more?
To me, everybody gets so caught up in the preps, and the preps are an interesting part of it. The calendar, interesting part of it. Obviously, Murray Toon, it really didn't come from Steiner, and I don't really
It's
care.
a farmer's almanac kind of.
It really is. That's exactly what that part of it is. But for me, I think the most important part of it is having a closed loop system. So then you have this farm where you have a reason for being, and so my reason for being happens to be making wines that taste intensely of a place, and so that's my reason for being. But to help do that, I know I have a budget every year. I remove X amount of tons of grapes per year, and I know how much nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium's in those grapes. Now I've got to challenge myself to get that back in the soil. So I've got, I'm long term, and I've worked with these in the past, but we want to have different crops in order to do that. I don't want to import soil. I don't want to import nitrogen. I don't want to import anything. I want a closed loop system that just runs on my property. So you need a few animals, you need some other crops going on, and you just don't want to have to buy anything from anybody. And so anyway, that to me is the most important part of biodynamics. So sustainability just is what goes out is what you try to do. And that's nice, but you've got to absolutely excel. You want to rock it. I don't want sustainable wines. I want wines that are so freaking good that people are just want to beat down the door to get them. or vegetables. If it didn't make the thing taste good, I wouldn't do biodynamics. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't do it. I don't have altruistic philosophies, or I don't have predetermined. Right now, there's a big thing in our industry about having, whether it's alcohol levels or new oak and old oak, I don't have any preconceived ideas of what it should be. I just want it to be good. I want to feed my kids. I want to live at the beach. I mean,
simple.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, I don't have these preconceived ideas of what it should be, and I don't have any dogma that I lay upon it has to be this way or that way. I've just found that BD makes it taste better.
We just had that shocker kind of rain the other day, a couple weeks ago, and you were able to do a new round of planting because you were responding
Nice.
to, there's enough moisture that got into the soil from that big storm from Dolores.
Yeah, the moisture connected with the deep moisture, so.
Yeah. How many inches did you get on your ranch?
I'm over the side of the valley here. I've got about 1.5 inches.
You put in corn and some other kind of heavy...
Corn, beans, peas, quinoa. Mm-hmm. I planted radishes too, but they only take, 21 days, so.
Oh, wow.
So every few times we go out to the farm, and then, of course, we go out for the preps to his farm and to see what it's all about.
Fabulous.
And it's really cool to see the mycorrhiza that are happening on the manure when you dump it out of the cow horn, right?
That's the best part for me.
Yeah.
And that mycorrhiza you find there, you'll find it nowhere else but a horn.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Well, I always love being able to go to taste your wonderful wines. Maybe we'll split off here and do a little tasting before you have to get to the rest of your day. We really appreciate you giving us all your time
No
this
worries.
morning.
This has been great.
And we have left Mike Sinor. We just had a nice interview with him this morning, and we had a chance to go check out their Bassy Vineyard up on the hill there above Avila.
Yeah, another biodynamic farmer.
Yes, we're here at the farm looking at your things. Look pretty good over there.
Oh, yeah. We'll go down there and check things out in a little bit.
Okay, well, give us the biodynamic gardening report for the coming 2 weeks.
Full moon's on the 31st, and it's in Aquarius, and the first of the month it's in Aquarius too. Mm-hmm. So it's a dry, barren sign, but a good day to kill weeds. Good day to put your fertilizer and compost on.
Good.
And then next after that, we got the 2nd and 3rd. The moon will be in Pisces. That's one of the second good days for planting and transplanting. Mm-hmm. Being the 3rd quarter now, it's a good time to do work with all your root crops. Mm-hmm. Your carrots, your beets. If you want to plant those things, it's a good time to do it. It's a good time to do transplant if you have any plants to transplant too.
Okay.
Because we're dealing with the roots when you're transplanting anyway. Mm-hmm. And then from the 4th and 5th of this next month, it'll be in Aries. That's another fire sign, dry and barren. Mm-hmm. It's a poor day for planting. So, and it's it's the last quarter. We're getting close to the last quarter, which starts on the 6th. Mm-hmm. So the 4th quarter is after the 6th. The 6th and 7th, the moon's in Taurus. It's a good day to transplant, but being in the 4th quarter, most of it. The first day would be good for doing transplanting and planting your root crops. The second day would be not a very good day. I would definitely recommend the first day of that Taurus because it's right at the quarter break. So in the 4th quarter, you don't want to usually plant too much at all.
Okay.
And then after that, the 8th and 9th, the moon will be in Gemini. It's a dry and barren sign again. So basically, don't want to plant seeds unless you want them to let them rot.
Okay.
And then August 10th to the 12th, the moon will be in Cancer. That's one of our best times to plant. Mm-hmm. And we're still in the 4th quarter, so not necessarily plant seeds that day. It'd be a good day to get things going, get things started and everything, but not necessarily to plant things or transplant things, be in the 4th quarter.
Okay.
If you really had to in scheduling, it would be okay, but I would not recommend it, even though it's a Cancer day. Mm-hmm. And after that, the moon will be in Leo, the 13th and 14th. It's another fire sign, and it's dry and barren. Basically, no planting and do groundwork, basically, for that. And then that leads us to the new moon, which is the 14th.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, but so this 3rd quarter coming up, you should be getting all your root crops for your fall crops. You should have all your winter carrots and beets and radishes all planted that time of year. Mm-hmm. And then even though it's not fall yet, traditionally for planting crops, you want to start planting fall crops in August around here.
Really?
Yes. We're coming up on the new moon coming up after the 14th. So that would be a good time for doing all your leafy greens after that. But we'll talk about that in more detail our next report.
And, okay, so let's see. Where shall we go next? For our next, I'm having so much fun. We had such a great time. We did not record our tasting, but we had some tastings of the, what did we have? A Pinot Grigio, a Chardonnay, a couple of Pinots, an Albarino. It was really nice. And a Syrah at Sinor La Valle.
Yes.
And so now we need someplace else to go. I had so much fun with the wine. Let's go for some food. Do you want to go up to lunch at Artisan? We'll say hello to Chef Chris.
That would be fun.
Up in Paso Robles. Hey, thanks a lot, Ralph. We'll be talking to you soon.
All right.
And we'll catch you in a couple weeks. We'll go up to Artisan.
Sounds like a plan.
See you later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.